To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Jay here, positivesarcasm.com, recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful and once again very snowy seacoast. For entertainment purposes only, like, subscribe, share, donate, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated. Did you see my little toesies? You see my little toesies on the screen here? Yeah, that's right. I'll wear a sport jacket and a nice pair of pants, but I'm not gonna rock some Cole Haans or some Maganinis on the podcast. I'm just gonna slip on some flippy floppies here. I want to at least be a little bit comfortable. You ever seen that, like, sometimes when Kevin O'Leary, the guy from Shark Tank, he's sitting there doing like a professional interview, he's got a nice jacket on and everything like that, but on the bottom he's wearing like pink sweatpants with some flip-flops. God bless that man. Like, subscribe, share, donate, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated. You can hit me up on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. You can email me directly through my website in the contact section of positivesarcasm.com. And then, of course, if you just want to email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. Find me anywhere where podcasts are downloadable: Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Apple Podcasts, and pretty much anywhere else there. And of course, you can view this podcast on Rumble and YouTube, Positive Sarcasm Podcast, and you can download it, stream it directly, the audio version of this podcast, directly from positivesarcasm.com. Yep. So there's the podcast this week, and there's a podcast next week, and then I am officially on Christmas break. And then we will be back either the first or second week of the new year with brand new content. So that's generally every year that I do that. And we are going into next year very promising. We are banging on all cylinders. I'm a little tired. Generally, it's the holidays. The weather's all over the place. I'm a little exhausted. It's hard to sleep sometimes, just ultimately because there's a lot of things going on. And I know a lot of people are just trying to get through it. But this has been, for me, been a very good holiday season. Thanksgiving was very relaxing. I mean, Christmas is going to probably be even more relaxing. Gift buying has been good. We'll talk a little bit more about that briefly through the duration of this podcast. But obviously the usuals this year are taking place. You walk into pretty much every single store and Christmas music is blaring. Now, it's only mildly annoying as a consumer when you go in to get groceries and you hear it's the holiday season, and then you walk into a department store to go get like vitamins or something, and shortly after you hear that it's the holiday season, and then you walk into the gas station, can I get $20 on gas? It's the holiday season. And it just repeats itself. And then next week, oh, honey, I got to go and get groceries. I'll be back. It's the holiday season. I got to get gas. Can I get 20 on gas? It's the holiday season. Honey, let's go shopping together. Okay, where do you want to go? Can we stop by Home Goods? Yeah, sure, honey. Let's go stop by Home Goods. It's the holiday season. Can we stop by TJ Maxx? I really want to get a new pair of jeans. It's the holiday season. It's now, that's as mildly annoying as a consumer. Imagine if you were a department store associate or a grocery store associate, and you got to hear that shit every day from November 1st all the way to December 26th, and sometimes up to all the way to January 1st. You got to hear that shit every single day. I'm assuming that essentially does break down every wall of your psyche after the first 2 or 3 weeks. So kudos to you for tolerating it as much as you can. As much as I sometimes can't stand coffee shop employees, I do feel bad if they have to listen to any type of themed music 24/7 nonstop. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind that song. I think it's Rubber Band Man. Here come prepare yourself, Rubber Band Man. But it was like part of that when I was working at this commercial restaurant. Yeah, Uno Chicago Grill. And we'll just say it there. I didn't mind the employees, except for the interim general manager. She was a fucking cunt. But besides that, that song would play over and over and over again. It was always once a day. once a day. Good song, like an enjoyable part of like 70s culture and things like that. I don't even know if that's the name of the song. Rubber Band Man. I have no idea, but there you go. But kind of a bouncy song. It's not bad, but just to hear that theme every single day as part of your existence can be a bit much. So I do have some, I guess, empathy. Is that the word? Empathy, sympathy, apathy? I don't know. It's a pathy. I have a pathy for pathy for those who work in that environment. So I hope you get through it. I hope you survive it. I hope you're not hanging by the end of a rope, before December 24th. So kudos to you for getting through it. But ultimately, get your resumes ready. So, another thing. So Christmas music in stores, it's tough to put up with as a consumer. I can no longer imagine it, as I once did work at Sears when I was in college for about a hot minute, listening to it every goddamn day. So Christmas music in the grocery stores, in the department stores, is a no-no for me. This one on a personal note, Slutty Santa is perfectly acceptable. Now, if you can, even if you've got a little chunk in the trunk or whatever, as long as it fits well on you, I'll be completely toxic here in this section of the podcast, but to me, it is Slutty Santa is perfectly acceptable by my book. So feel free to have fun and get away with it if you can. Definition of Slutty Santa is, of course, you wear a Santa outfit with a skirt that is a little too short and a hat. And that's pretty much the extent of it. And if you can get away with it and somehow make it work, this is okay by me. Now, if you weigh 1,000 pounds, you're not really Slutty Santa. You're one of the reindeer. Though, that being said, if you can pull it off, congratulations to you. I happily support your choice theme for this holiday season. If you're Jewish, and you could still also pull off either Slutty Santa or, Horny Harry. I don't know. It's I've never really seen a Hanukkah-themed slutty something. Complainy. I don't. You guys figure it out. But at the end of the day, it's probably not going to be red. It's probably going to be more blue-themed, and that's cool. Try it. Let me know. Try it. Maybe it's a new thing. It's a new trend. It's a new, slutty Jewy trend that we can kind of get it because, we need a little more sense of humor on that side, especially nowadays with all the conspiracy theories. So, I always like to do at least one of these, there's like a top 5 or top 10 gift giving, because it's like there's who should gifts, who do you need to give gifts to, who should you give gifts to? Okay, so there's want to give gifts, should give gifts, and have to give gifts. Obviously, I have a rule: have to give gifts, you give gifts. Wants to give gifts, you give gifts. Should give gifts, they don't get gifts. Okay? That's who gets gifts. If there's a member of your family that you see a lot that you can't fucking stand, they don't get gifts. That's how that rolls. So, nobody in your life who sucks gets a gift. Because they need to be reminded, like, at least once a year that they fucking suck. And maybe, just maybe, one day they'll finally realize, why don't you ever get, so-and-so a gift? It's like, because they fucking suck. They suck. They're always nice. They're never nice. They talk behind my back. They're fake as fuck. They always start drama. Then that's that. But they get you gifts. Their gifts suck. Or they don't get gifts at all. It's like, sorry. Those who suck get not. Anyone who has... all disrespect. Anyone who has too much stuff does not need a material-based gift. So if you know somebody who just has like a ton of shit or is borderline a hoarder or they just love ripping that credit card, they don't need a material gift. You don't need to get them a little trinket or a tchotchke or a babka or a dipka. They don't need any of that. They don't need nothing. Nothing. They don't get anything. It's like, hey, this is my gift to you, is the fact that you don't need more shit. That is my gift to you. So, but there are ways to work for those. There are ways to get people gifts like that. Get people like that gifts, but it just can't be something material that they can't do anything with. Maybe a cardboard box you can get them to take some of their shit and sell it off. That might be a good idea. Another thing that I see often, that it apparently is a thing and it shouldn't be. This should not be a thing. Is giving gifts to exes. That's a no. Straight up. You don't give exes gifts. You maybe, if you're like super close, or maybe you had like a thing once, but as a general rule, pathetics out there, all the pathetics out there, do not be spending your energy, your emotional time, your money on giving gifts to exes. That's a no, flat out. Okay, especially if they left you. Fuck them. They don't get anything. And if you didn't get, it's like no, you don't. Don't try to reestablish that connection. That's all done with. Okay. You try to reestablish a connection. You can make contact and ask, hey, you want to go get coffee sometime? But you don't give gifts. You do not waste your time on that, Mark. That just is ultimately pathetic. You don't do that ever, under any shape or form. The best gift you can give your exes is the success of doing shit on your own, and they see that, whether or not you're looking for some type of expectations of them to see it and to note. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the best gift you can give to yourself is taking care of yourself. Your exes don't need any of that. None of that. They're your exes for a reason. If you're super broke, then just don't buy gifts. You know? You can make up for it when you actually make something of yourself. But ultimately, if you are just flat broke and you really need to take this year to just get through it and start from scratch, then you can let people know, I can't do this year. But don't expect anything from anybody. Don't expect them to buy you dinner, pick up the tab, give you actual gifts, anything, cards, nothing. Ultimately, if you are just flat broken, you're like, I'm going to start from scratch. I've got too much credit card debt, and blah, 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 but I got to give. Don't. All you're doing is damaging yourself. You're putting yourself further into the hole by trying to appease somebody else by giving them a gift. You just don't do it. You just don't buy anybody anything. This is one of the most expensive times of the year where everybody may be accepting something from you, but they understand that. It's like, you shouldn't have got me something. Yeah, you're right. You shouldn't have got that person anything. You shouldn't have gotten anybody anything because you're fucking broke as fuck. You spent all your money on Pokemon cards. Your car's in the shop 24/7 because it's got 176,000 miles, and it's a third generation Range Rover, but you thought it because you wanted to be part of the in crowd. Just stop altogether. Don't buy anybody anything until you get your shit together in general. That's one of the best gifts you can give anybody, is knowing that your plan is to get your shit together before you do anything else for anyone. Otherwise, what's the point? If you have to, absolutely, if you are still broke, but you've got to buy, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 gifts for somebody. There is a bottom line. There is a bottom dollar. And that ultimately is like, if you have to give somebody something and they know that you're a broke ass, this is an easy one. And this isn't bad, actually. This is not a bad way to go. Is a Christmas card. And inside the Christmas card is scratch cards. Now, the cool thing about scratch cards is they cost $1 each. And the thing about them is it's a fun game to play. People like the idea of actually winning. Oh, I won $10. I won $40. I won $50. I won $1,000. And guess what? It happens a lot. So if you buy somebody a little card that costs 99 cents, you print it off online or something like that, or you go and buy it at the store on clearance. But instead, it's like, I couldn't afford the actual Christmas card, so I got this one that says, sorry about your loss. It's like, but the inside of it is like, three, get 3 sheep, win $1,000. It's like, you know what? That's a solid gift because it's exciting. It gets their attention. Maybe they actually do win something, or maybe they do win like $1 on each card, but now they can go trade those in and either get that $3 or go buy more cards. So you're giving them opportunity. You're giving the gift of opportunity. So there is that. So a scratch card inside of a Christmas card is not a bad way to go if you are broke. As an accent gift, if you have money, but you're looking for something kind of like push yourself across the goal line, like maybe you got somebody a little nice something, but you kind of want to add maybe like a stocking stuffer or something like that, but you're still kind of broke, then go for the card with the scratch cards, or just go with the scratch cards on top of it. You do that, that's you got something that's solid, an actual material gift, and you gave them an opportunity to win some money. And that's a cool thing, because you never know. You might be giving that money to somebody, or that opportunity to make money to somebody who knows exactly what to do with it. And that's awesome. Be like, hey, man, it was awesome. Because you never know. They win $50. That could be everything to them, man. It's be like, yeah, it's a tough year. This, that, and the other thing. I had switched jobs. They win $50. It's like, man, it's going to pay for my gas this month. It's like, so it's not a bad way to go, man. Sometimes people are like, yeah, some people just need the break. And you gave them the opportunity to need a break. To give a break. This is a big thing to me. Unless it's specifically requested. No religious stuff. So there are people out there that think it's a good idea to give, like, Bibles, the gift of Jesus, or something to that nature, or whatever. No Bibles. Quran, Torah, St. James, none of that. You don't give out Bibles. You just don't. Unless it's requested. You don't go that route. There are people who like to do that, though. They think it's, or I don't know what goes through their fucking head, but ultimately you do not give Bibles or any other religious items unless it's specifically requested. So, like, for me, obviously the idea was brought up to my attention about a menorah, because I had a menorah about 12 years ago. It was a beautiful menorah from Israel. It was a beautiful, straight from Jerusalem. Beautiful menorah. I lost it in the culling. It was really sad. I really liked that menorah, but I just got another one as a gift. But I knew it was coming, and I was totally okay with it. And now I have one, and it's great. It's cool. Like, that's a situation where it's totally acceptable, is where you're expecting it, you've okayed it, and now you have it. But just like giving somebody something like that, even if they already have one, so it's like, oh, what's another one? It's like, nope, you're stepping across the line. You may be stepping across the line, and it's not necessary. Not necessary, not worth the risk. So just don't do it. Okay? There's environments for that, and just for the normal folk, even if you come from like an extremely Christian or Jewish background or Muslim background, just don't go that route. It's not worth it. Don't waste your time on that shit. Okay? So when it comes to religious stuff, steer clear. Just steer clear. It's one of those things like, no, don't go there. Now, when it comes to like actual gifts, I get it. Gift giving can be difficult. So there are some kind of baselines, like as far as like I came up with a top 6, and I just wanted to kind of briefly go over them. And first of all, I have an honorable mention. Pet stuff. Pet stuff is cool. So like little jackets, stuffed animals for them to play with, treats, like standard treats that are really like healthy for the animal, things like that. That's cool. Like a bark box. Bark boxes are fantastic. Anything in that range, because even if you didn't get something for the person, you got something for the pet. That counts just as much, because that person really does tend to enjoy, like, oh, you got something for Fluffy or whatever. Like, that's great. And the animal loves that. That's awesome, because that brings joy all around. So an honorable mention, like if you get like a little jacket or sweater, you get something for the animal like that's warming, because nothing that's heartwarming. Like, that's really like, that animal could be the heart and soul of somebody. Could be somebody's heart and soul, and you get them like a little sweater or like some booties or like some treats or something like that. That's should almost always be appreciated. So that's a big win with me in general. So I do encourage that. I think that's a good way to go. I think it's a safe way to go, because animal stuff can get expensive. It really can. So you doing that can take a financial burden off of the owner. So it can go a long way. Now, there is a top 6 that I wanted to kind of just briefly share with you all, and if this podcast is quick, so be it. But I was thinking about this because I did this I don't know if I really did this last year. I just went with one thing, but that one, it's still my number 1, period. For many different reasons. But number 6 is, if you can't think of anything else, you don't. And obviously buying clothes for, unless you're family and you know the person's size and they generally stay the same size, and it's a man, Don't try buying clothes for a woman and maybe they think they fluctuated in size, something like that, or maybe you bought them like a medium when they're actually a small, or they have a eating disorder. Or you buy them a large, now you think they're fat. It's like, don't bother, don't do it. It's not worth it. Get them a scarf. Actually, I didn't think of that. Scarf's not a bad idea, even though they can wear it only can wear it like a small time of the year. But if you have no other idea for like maybe a stocking stuffer, a person you don't associate with very much, but you still like them, socks. Just go with socks. Dude, everybody talks shit about socks, but guess what? You go through socks all the time. They're super comfy and warm. There's nothing like a fresh pair of socks. You buy them a good pair of socks that maybe goes with their current wardrobe, or something that they can wear at home that's super cozy, that keeps them warm. Dudes too. Dudes wreck socks all the time. How do we do it? Sometimes our toenails get a little bit too long. Next thing you know, we're basically slicing and dicing through the front of our dress socks. And the next thing you know, they go through TSA. And for some reason, they get flagged and they got to take their shoes off or whatever. I don't know. Or at the end of the day, their heels start scraping against the back of the sock. And the next thing you know, when they go to throw on a pair of socks to match a certain wardrobe. And it's like, shit. It's like, well, you just got a half a dozen pair of new socks from the blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, those were nice socks, too, and they're super comfy. They got the nice lining on the inside. And the thing is, you can get a solid amount of socks for a very affordable price that will easily stuff a stocking. It's not look, it seems lame, but I'm not going to scoff at socks. I'm not a stock scoffer. It's not going to happen. You give me some socks, I'll be like, all right. As long as they're not white. I don't generally keep a lot of white socks in my wardrobe, okay? I have like one pair of long tubies. I have a pair of like one pair. That's it, one. And then I have some small one for heels that always come off What the fuck is with heel socks? You know those small ankles, the ones that you're not supposed to see them? Because you don't see them because they never work. They never work. They always slide right off your heels. Like you have no chin. It's like your chin just slides off your face. These socks just slide right off your heels. Now they're all bunched up underneath the balls of your feet. And it's just super fucking uncomfortable. But overall, nice socks. You get somebody a nice socks in their stocking stuffer. You can't go. It's nothing to scoff at. It really is nothing to scoff. Seriously, take some time to think about it. Like if you go to like TJ Maxx, you go to Home Goods, or you go to Marshalls or department store, you go online. It's like, yeah, you could really make someone's day. Imagine if like you, instead of spending like maybe $8 and you get like 4 pairs of socks from them, what if you got them like 15 pairs of socks? Like all different kinds, matchy, themey, this, that, and the other. And it's like, dude, he bought me a shit ton of socks. It's like, hey man, there's nothing wrong with that. Load up on some socks for gifts. That's like an easy one, especially if you have to like appease everybody at like a family get together or whatever, and you just got everybody's socks. It's not a bad. It's not. Don't sell that one short. So that's number 6. Like I said, it's number 6 for a reason. That's if you've got no clue what to do. Now, number 5. Number 5 is a fun one because when it comes to like antiques, sure, you can an antique. Obviously, there's antiques and old shit. All right. Some people consider me an antique. Some people consider me an old piece of shit. But I think I still have some value. So that being said, there are some antique stores which are just absolutely ridiculously expensive just because they are. Because they're a smaller place, and they generally are tourist traps for people who go in there, and it's like next thing you know, they spend $100 on some old fucking salt shaker. But then there are surplus antique places that we go to all the time that are absolutely fantastic, and the prices are extremely affordable. Now, where can you get shitty or nice, like cool antiques? Like it could be anything. It could be an old street sign. It could be old comic books. It could be old books in general. It could be, postcards or old photos or frames, artwork, anything, coins, jewelry, old movie posters like the ones I have up here. These are original movie posters. This is Star Trek II Wrath of Khan. That's an original movie poster. Wrong is right. That's an official, on the other side of the studio, official movie posters. These are cool. The frame actually was more expensive than the artwork, but still, that's old antiques, old surplus antiques, potential gold mines, first of all, for fun shopping in general. A great affordable way to spruce up a house or an apartment, or an office or whatever. But that's a great way to go. And like I said, expensive? No. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some stuff there that they know what they have and they're going to charge you for it. But in general, that's a great place to go snooping around and seeing if there's something really, really cool. Like, and they have like nice china cup teas, like a teacup or something like that. This stuff is phenomenal. Now, obviously, you don't want to buy shit that's just going to help somebody clutter up their life because they can't get rid of it or they're afraid to break it or something. But something that's really cool. Something that's really cool. It has like maybe some history behind it or whatever. That's cool. That stuff is cool. Something that I remember I got a family member once. It was like a Time magazine. It was like 1 month after JFK was assassinated. It was like the original Time or Life magazine, and it was that's crazy. This is before like the Zapruder film came out. It was before that anything of that. So it's like an interesting like going back in time to see what things were like back then when that actually it's really cool stuff. So like surplus antique stores or just antique stores that are not like overly expensive is a good way to kind of might help you get by in the holidays. And there's always something different when you go there. So that's cool. And it's like I said, a big antique place. There's some you could if you shop for a couple people, that's a place you could possibly knock out 2 or more gifts. So that's number 5. What's number 4? Tech accessories. Now, people would think tech accessories are expensive. They're not. Especially with places like eBay and Amazon and B&H Photo and Video, Adorama. What's that other place I bought? Can't remember. But tech accessories are relatively inexpensive. For example, in the podcast studio, there is my video camera that records this podcast. My main image is an HDMI cord that switches to USB. Now, it is basically an HDMI cord going into a adapter that adapts it to USB, and that's how it feeds footage from this 4K camera into a 1080p video feed directly to my computer. That little module was $10. $10. That's all that was. It's a really cool little piece of tech. Another super cheap way to kind of zazz up a fucking office or something like that is like RGB lighting. I have a little one behind me. I'm looking to get more actually, but RGB lighting could cost you like between $10 and $20. Those are cool. They liven up a studio. They liven up an office. They add some nice ambient lighting. They kind of liven the place up a bit. You also can get RGB lighting in like a keyboard or in a mouse for gamers or people who want to liven up their workspace. That stuff's inexpensive too. We're talking $5, $10 items. There's also adapters that you can get for somebody who wants to plug stuff into their tablet or small laptop or cell phone. They can turn their cell phone into a workstation. There's those little adapters. Basically, it's like a USB docking station that plugs right into the bottom of their phone, and then it has like an Ethernet. It has an Ethernet connection, an aux cord connection for speakers, multiple USB inputs and outputs, an HDMI slot, and these things we're talking anywhere from $5 to $20. Cheap stuff. Super, super cheap stuff that you can get. My studio is thriving with really inexpensive tech equipment. Not to mention my studio, my main face light here. These things, these arms, these microphone arms, inexpensive. The cabling, inexpensive. The tablet stand that holds my notes, inexpensive. We're talking really, really cheap items here to kind of help accessorize somebody's lifestyle conveniently with tech equipment. Absolutely. Very, 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 very inexpensive ways to help somebody liven up their work environment with tech. It doesn't have to be expensive. It really doesn't. So these are like I said, that's number 4. What else do I have anything else on that? But ultimately, you're talking tech accessories that can be $1. Now, what did I just buy? I just bought what was my last piece of tech accessory? It was an HDMI to DisplayPort adapter, because the new computer that's going to be used as the primary in the Spare Parts Studios, it runs mostly DisplayPort. DisplayPort, it basically looks like an HDMI port, but it's slanted on one side and flat on the other. So I need to adapt that a little bit in order to fit the current screens that I have. But that was $1.99. That's $1.99. That's all that was. So all these cheap little accessories you can bundle together and be like, here. But mostly because dudes love to hang on to all their cords and adapters and all their tech bullshit. We generally don't need it. But somebody who's a little light might need that stuff. So these are really great accessories. Like Wi-Fi dongles, cheap. Bluetooth dongles, cheap. Just USB drives, also cheap. So there's a lot. There's a lot you can do in the tech category that is extremely inexpensive. So yeah, there you go. And don't talk to me about tariffs and stuff. A lot of this stuff is already warehoused in the United States. It takes about a week and a half to get here, and it's extremely inexpensive. Or you get a cheap laptop, you outfit it with a new version of Windows. You can buy somebody a pre-owned laptop for like $75. Fucking max it out with cheap RAM. Get an SSD drive for it, solid state drive, to really speed it up, and then put a new version of Windows 10 in there, and then be like, here's your new laptop, and it probably cost you like $100, $110. If they can't afford to get a laptop, you take care of that for them. Be like, boom, here's your new laptop. It's not expensive at all. Not expensive at all. They even make these little fold-up display monitors. They're like $40-$50, like a 15-inch monitor that connects via USB-C. Extremely affordable and great on the go. Basically, you can whip out a second monitor to your laptop on the fly if you're doing presentations or if you need a little extra screen at work. Absolutely fantastic. Another thing that's really cool is if somebody owns a car but they don't have like CarPlay, like Android or Apple CarPlay, you can get a little CarPlay item that has like, they can put their Google Maps on there. They can put their Pandora or their Spotify playlist on there. Everything like that. They can answer the phone, text messages, everything, voice announcements. $40-$50. $40-$50. I have a nice one that folds down, but it's perfect. And it's like super widescreen, very thin. That's touchscreen. And it works great. Little bit, it's maybe a little slow, but it's actually all I need it for is basically if I'm running maps and basically music. And that's it. You can also add a backup camera too if you wanted. So these tech accessories, don't be scared of tech accessories, especially if you're a fan of shopping on eBay. It's really a great way, and that's why it's a really great way to get across the finish line for whether it be your primary gift or your stocking stuffers. Great way across the finish line. That's why it sits at number 4. Number 3, if you're looking to get a stocking stuffer for somebody, I don't know why this one popped in my head, but for some reason, it goes well in my household, anybody else, another's household, and I don't know how else to really put it to you, but sitting at number 3 is cheese. Fucking cheese. First of all, who doesn't love cheese? Burrata, mozzarella, Munster, cheddar, sharp cheddar, Vermont, Swiss, Gouda, smoked Gouda, Parmesan Reggiano. There's so many different types of cheeses, and you can get like a sampler platter for somebody. Bring it over to a party or something. Hell, if you just even throw a block of fucking American in somebody's stocking stuffer who you know just loves to just chew on cheese. I don't know why. I don't know. It can't be number 6. It has to be right there in the middle because it's cheese. You think I'm crazy? Tell me you don't like cheese. Honestly. Come to me, talk to me in my face. Oh, I can't do well with dairy. Just because you can't handle dairy, don't tell me that you don't love cheese, though. Okay? That's not my problem. That's your problem. You don't like cheese, or you can't, or excuse me, you love cheese, but you can't eat it? That sounds like a you thing. You need to work on bettering yourself so that you can get your Christmas cheese every single year and not have it be a bathroom consequence later. Cheese is an amazing gift. Cheese is a fantastic gift. Cheese is an acquired gift of trust and knowing I like this type of cheese and that type of cheese, and you go out of your way and you can make it part of like an Italian or French or Mediterranean sampler or whatever, and it's like this type, many different types of cheeses from many different types of places. And it can get expensive quick, but you can keep it cheap. But ultimately, cheese. If I say to you, I'm going to get you some cheese for Christmas, do you look at me like I'm a bad person? I'll tell you. If you send me cheese for Christmas, you're getting a thank you card in the mail. I'm telling you, if you literally, if God, the Almighty, or the devil, either way, if I got something in the mail and it was smoked Gouda and it said, Merry Christmas, sincerely, Hail Satan, or St. Peter, I would write back, thank you for the cheese. That was very, very thoughtful. Obviously, if it's smoked Gouda, I would assume it came from down under. But either way, I'll take it. If you put cheese in the mail and it comes to me, I'm okay with that. That's why it sits at number 3. Because when I say the word cheese, it should bring a smile to your face. That's number 3. Number 2, secondhand furniture. Now, we've all done this. We've gone to Target. We've gone to Walmart. We've gone to name some bullshit department store. You ever seen the price of furniture over there that basically was made out of fucking sawdust, plywood? It's a pain in the ass to put together. The screws and stuff are fucking stupid. The wood always breaks. They can't move it the second they go from this apartment to that house, or that house to this apartment, or this, that, the other thing, or they go to move it to a different spot in the house. The wood basically just explodes because it just can't handle the stress of being moved 2 inches. Why? Why do that to somebody? Why do that to somebody? What kind of asshole are you? Because it's another way of saying not only am I being cheap, I'm not being creative. I'm not thinking of your aesthetics. I don't care about that. I got you a shitty bookshelf. I got you a shitty computer desk. You go to Staples, get somebody one of them little corner desks that looks nice at the time, that seems pretty rigid. Then they go to put it on a truck, and then like one little bump, and the whole fucking desk just falls apart like a house of cards. No, you just spent $79.99 on a pile of shit that's now basically firewood. So why would you do that? Why would you do that when you can go get secondhand furniture that was probably made during the Civil War, that has survived to today for a reason, that was actually made out of like actual wood? It's an actual piece of wood. And you would pay half the price, if not next to nothing, for everything that's in this office right now. The grandma's desk. I have a desk, a side table there. It's a whole chunk of granite. I think it's granite, a whole chunk of granite, smooth granite, sitting on top of actual pieces of wood. The coffee table, the side table, the chaise lounge here. These actual pieces of secondhand furniture that have character, that are actually sturdy, that can take a beating, can take a punch, can take a kick. It's durable. It's stood the test of time. It can be cleaned up. It can be min-waxed and all this stuff. This is beautiful stuff. It adds personality. It looks like it's been here for a while, even though you picked it up from the Salvation Army for $19.99. These things are actually of value. Now, you can get anything there. You can get anything there. I'm talking bureaus, desks, armoires. That's all there. Shoe racks, storage ottomans basically that open up that you can put blankets and stuff in, and then there's like tables and chairs, beautiful tables that are maybe like made out of like fucking cherry or oak or mahogany, beautiful maple. I mean, actual items that really add character and, taste to a home or an apartment that people will essentially take with them, most likely take with them to the next place they go to. It will travel with them throughout their lives. That's why you get furniture like that. You don't go to like Target and get somebody some personality, devoid of personality fucking desk or bureau. Here's the thing: if you get anything half the quality of the bureau or dresser drawer, a dresser that you get from a secondhand store and you buy it from like Target or something, it's going to cost you an astronomical amount of cash for something that has no history behind it. That you don't know where it was made. You don't necessarily know the material. There's no love in that. There was no effort into that. It's just assembly line work. It's crap. It's ultimate crap. Where if you get that stuff from the second-hand store and you maybe like pay like $49.99 for it, but it's like a fucking beautiful, cherry table or something like that. Like it's really, that they're missing something. That's, to me, there's a reason for number 2 there, because you're giving somebody possibly a piece of history. It's like, here's a 100-year-old table. It was made in Massachusetts back in 1936, and it's got this huge handcrafted eagle claws, and, when you min-wax it and everything, it's just like shiny as shit, and it's like, boom. Nailed it. That's why it's number 2. Now, when it comes to the number 1, I've said it at least 2 or 3 times in the past, and I'll say it once more. When it comes to gift giving, unless you have a genetic history of it, there is nothing better than getting a nice, heavy bottle. Now, depending upon the state, obviously, an honorable mention goes to firearms. But honestly, there's nothing like alcohol. Somebody gives you a nice bottle. It could be anything, even if they're just getting like gimmicky, like Johnny Walker Blue or Gold or Green. But honestly, just in general, a nice bottle of something. Champagne, wine, whiskey, bourbon, scotch, rum, vodka. There's nothing like getting a nice bottle of something that they maybe went on like YouTube and they went and looked at some of the sommeliers or whatever. And they're like, this is the bottle. You don't get this bottle because you're just paying for the label of that. If you get this, though, you get all of that for half the price. But that's and it's probably something they haven't tried. It's like, you got to try this. This is a new place. It's actually, they're a new distillery in this state. And and you can tell them all this stuff. It's like, you got to try it. And it's like a community thing. It's a community thing. And getting somebody a bottle of alcohol can be somebody you barely know or somebody you see every single year. There's so many ways to deliver alcohol because alcohol is a social lubricant. Now, it's buying somebody a 6-pack of Coronas. We're not talking about that. What we're talking about is like an actual. If you give somebody a bottle of bourbon, that is manly. That is a sign of. That's a truce. If you go to somebody and say, "I'm giving you this, a bottle of bourbon," that is not like. And I'm not talking just whiskey. I'm talking like a bottle of bourbon or scotch or cognac or brandy. Something with a deep, brown, rich history of tradition. You do that. That is a truce. That means that you and I are cool, and I want to give you something that you can have on your own time, or if you choose to share with me in the moment. But that ultimately, that's love right there. When you give somebody now, obviously, if you're just going somewhere and you need to bring something, it's like, yeah, you stop by, you grab a bottle of red, you grab a bottle of white, and you grab a bottle of champagne, and you can grab a nice bottle of St. Francis Pinot, Cabernet, and you grab like a nice white of like Santa Margarita, Pinot Grigio, and then you grab like a nice bottle of champagne. Ultimately, you're only like, I'd say $60 in the hole for all 3. And you go to the party and you go, hey, I brought some booze. Now I'm not a piece of shit because I didn't come empty-handed. It's like, hey, and you never know. You let that St. Francis sit on the shelf. So let that sit for like 3 years. Just let it sit for 3 years, and then open it. It'll have some depth to it. It'll actually be very, very good. It'll actually be very, very good. So the alcohol can go so many ways as far as like the idea of giving. There's so much to it because then here's the thing. If you give it 1 year, it's like now you have a chance to up your game because if they really appreciated it that year, then you up it the next year, you now have an avenue of attack. It's like, oh, they're going to get a bottle. They only got me a bottle this year. Then the bottle he got me last year was great. It's like, well, now you have a chance to up your game. You have a chance to either up your game or try something different. But either way, and especially in New Hampshire, when you walk into that liquor store, like I've said thousands of times, it's like a church. It's like an absolute church. So walking into there is absolutely incredible. And the idea of so many options that you can get people, there's a reason it's number 1 on my list. And here's the thing. When you put it all together, think about it. Think about this. if you go to a surplus antique store and you get some nice antique glasses and maybe like a nice wood shelf, and then some nice cozy socks, and then you go and get a nice assortment of cheeses, and you pair that with some nice alcohol, buddy, this is why my top 6 are what they are. Because they can all be combined together to make an absolutely excellent holiday season. You can find me on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. Like, subscribe, share, donate. PositiveSarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated. You can hit me up through my website, PositiveSarcasm.com, in the contact section. Watches? No, we'll move that aside. Anyways, let's close up. We won. We won this round. Let's kind of close up on a good note. Let's take a knee and run out the clock. You can email me directly at positivesarcasm@outlook.com. You can download this podcast anywhere podcasts are available. Downloadable, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict. You can also download it and stream it directly from my website, positivesarcasm.com. And, of course, YouTube and Rumble are the places to find it in video format. But in the meantime, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I'll talk to you all next week in the final podcast of this year. Listen to that jazz. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast for entertainment purposes only. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.